It's nice and sunny. We're outside today. We're going to do a video fitting the side skirts to the Land Rover Freelander 2. So now these I think are the same on the HST kit and the dynamic kit. So the early body kit was called the HST up to 2000 and then, oh gosh, when do you reckon? So 2011. Yeah, and then 2012 on they went to the dynamic when they facelifted it. But the side skirts are the same, so this is good. So you can see here we fitted them. So these are the bits you take off. Now do you want to hold that up, Ian, at the sort of underneath it, so we can just see the different shape in context. So they sort of fit in the same area, but the body contour is different. So these ones here sort of go down and bulge out more and lower. So I think they give
right at the bottom of the door.
They give the car a slightly lower stance. Point to note, they still fit with your side steps or side tubes. We've got the genuine side tubes on here. They fit on there fine. Right, other point to note before we get into pulling them apart is your mud flaps. Your mud flaps will be different. Can you just show us on that little bit? So if you're the original mud flaps, as you can see there, they're curved and they got that little wobble in them there. Whereas if you look at the shape of that new one, it's just straight down. You see, can you see that? You haven't got, so you will need the dynamic mud flaps, which we're going to put on the website as well. So if you need those, we'll do that. Right, let's go and have a look around the other side then. So we haven't fitted it on this side. Ian's laid it all out, so we've got all the bits we need to take off, and then all the bits we need to put on. Right, so what should we do? Is we start trashing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So pulling these rear body trims, yeah, you can get your grip at the back there and just give it a fierce yank. Okay, so there we go. And what you've got, there's these two-part poppers here. Have you broken it?
That one has, yeah.
We ain't worried about it, but yeah. So what is that come off? Is that a funny little spring clip? Is it?
No.
It's literally just
just a locator.
It's just a location lug for some reason. Yeah, that should have just pulled out.
That shouldn't even be holding it.
I think that's just for ease of assembly in the factory, isn't it? Yeah, it's like those, just to guide you in so that you... there we go, that broke. Not to worry. Right, so they're basically held on with these two-part clips. So you've got this little yellow clip, and you can see he's got a little nipple sticking out there. And then on that end, you've got these little white clips that have got like a little lead in. They've got a little sort of... And then they just slide in there. Okay, so in theory they're reusable. We could pop that back on again, couldn't we? And we could take that and pop that straight back on again. Right, the kit does come with a load of new, we'll see, but I'll digress a little bit. It does come with a load of new clips, so you can put all the new clips, but we'll get to that when we get there. Right, and obviously if you've got mud flaps fitted, you're going to have to remove your old mud flaps. So we'll do that in a minute. Let's pull that other front one off, see if you can do it without breaking it this time. Alright, what have we got? You just need to give us pull up the front there. There we go. There you go. So that's the front one off. Okay, so we'll unscrew the mud flap. What have we got to do there, Ian? We won't film it just to keep it short. But basically we've just got...
You've got two screws on this front edge. Yeah. You should have a clip on there as well.
Okay, we're missing a clip.
And then there's one screw round underneath. As you can see, there's your two screws in the front,
yeah,
and one screw at the back there.
Yeah. Right, we'll get that off and then we'll come back and we'll get that little front bit. So we've got the mud flap off and we're going to get this little end bit off. So I've got one in my hand here, and the thing we've got to watch is you see that little hole there? Can you simulate we've got a little end bit there on the end of the seal that's going to poke in there. So we're going to wriggle it out, but it's that little tongue you got to watch. So you got to get... There you go. So what we got on there holding it in, was that a little popper there?
Yeah, you got a couple of little poppers.
Two little poppers at the top there.
Missing them full of dirt.
Full of dirt, yeah. This is, and then in fact you can start to see there the bit where you got to get it off. That's it. You got to wriggle him off the end there. Well done. That's it. So yeah, this is the little tongue that's on the end of the seal. And so when you put it back on, make sure you get it over that little hook. And there we go. So that's the old one. And then, right, we'll clean that up. We'll give all that a good old clean and get it washed down. And then we're ready to put it all back on then in the next bit, yeah? So we'll clean all that up and then we'll come back and see if we can get it all back on. What about these clips here, Ian? Do we need to reuse these? These are the mud flap clips, are they?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they're part of the mud flap because I think it comes with a little metal bracket. So it'll be interesting to see if they line up with the new ones. Right. So refitting this little bit, if you're fitting the mud flaps, it's a good time just to fit the 2 clips that come with it. The longer one goes at the bottom, and you can work out where they go by just offering up the mud flap there. You can see it lines up with those holes there. So we've done that and drilled a little hole through to give us clearance. So we're ready to fit that on now. So yeah, fitting it on, which way do you want to go in?
First we need to take out our old.
Or should we put some new ones in? Let's grab some new ones since we got them. Alright, if you're going to fit new clips, you slide those in, and then what you'll have to do is you'll have to remove your old clips. Why do they use black clips on the front? I don't know.
I think they've just been painted.
Now they're a bit of a pain to get out. You've got to sort of get under them, and then get the little tool under there. Oh, well done. Nearly.
They tend to just fall apart.
Yeah, you as well just like hammering them off, giving them a little tap off. Well, there you go. That's it. So yeah, they're sort of obviously designed to pop off, but if you replace, it's up to you, and we'll come across this when we do the doors. You can either leave the old poppers on, but sometimes they don't clip as well. They do seem to get a bit brittle. There you go.
It's finding the right point on them, I think.
Right.
If you can find a point where you actually push one of those springy bits in, it'll help it come out at an angle.
Right, and what we're doing? So we got the new bit. We got our clips on. Yeah, now we did off camera, we did work out that if you've got the old mud flat bracket, which you can see here, this metal bracket in behind here, they don't line up with those. You can leave it in there, it's not going to do any harm, but it doesn't line up with the new screw holes. It's so just a little note there. I get that little tongue in at the bottom first.
So that tongue is fairly flexible.
Yeah, he's pretty.
And then the next thing you've got to do is get this corner
in.
round and past. You've got a locating peg which goes in this bottom hole.
Okay, which gives you the lead in, and that makes sure everything's lined up then, and then you've got to give it a fair old tap to get it in. Yeah. And then what have we got, a bolt to go up underneath?
And we've got one bolt in the bottom, right, which is used as the mud flap bolt.
Mud bolt, yeah.
So when you're fitting your mud flap now, we'll just put the screws in.
Yeah.
Those 3.
Bolt that.
But
right,
that's fairly secure now anyway.
Right, so let's move on to the doors. So the doors, right, we're going to try and popper it on. Now we did on the other side. The top row seemed to popper nice and grip, but the bottom row we couldn't get the grip. So we'll have a look at that in a minute, but first thing we do is get this rubber strip on. So this rubber strip you get 2 of these rubber strips, and you can see how it's got a little sort of bend in it. You really want to put it that way so it's bending into the door. Right, right in. So it's got a little U-channel at the top which pushes over the bottom of the door. Get it lined up, get a little rubbery mallet. Do you want it? Watch my fingers. Because will it not just pull up? Ah, there you go. That's it, once you got it started, he says.
Yeah, once you got it started, you just kind of got to...
Right, well Ian works that along, I'll show you. So what you should, once it's fitted, you see how it curves that way. You should have it curve in that way, not the other way. And there's a shorter piece here which will fit on the rear door. So we'll fit that one on. You don't need to watch us fitting those. And then we'll come back and fit the main door cladding. Okay, so we're just fitting the clip. So we're swapping these, slide these little. Yeah, some slide a different way, don't they? You can see which way they slide because they're sort of rounded on that end. The open end, they just slide out. Now, as I say, we're doing the slightly risky method, which is reusing the old ones. If you're super keen, you could take all these yellow ones out using that little technique Ian was showing earlier with the screwdriver and the old rivet trim removing tool. There you go. Right, okay, so that's all we need. That can go. Right, so there's a bit of double-sided adhesive you will have spotted across here. Now, my recommendation is don't take that off. Leave that on for now, because at the end, it's got an extra long bit of tab. So, just in case these little pins and the docking don't do their thing properly, you can take it off again, change one, and then after it's fitted, you can remove that. But the thing you need to do now is clean. So you see, so it's just along this line here, just underneath that crease. So in the kit you get an alcohol wipe. Now you do actually get some of this adhesion promoter. I'm not recommending you use that. It's horrible stuff. It's horrible for the environment and horrible for your skin. So we always find it sticks well enough just with that alcohol wipe. So there we go, giving that, and that's just removing any grease and back to black and cleaning agents and
any car shampoo you've
bodily fluids, anything else like that they might have got on there. Right, you reckon it's better doing it with the door shut, Ian?
Yeah, you can push against it then.
Yeah, give a good old right. So now everything should in theory line up.
Okay, it's using these.
Yeah, and we've got these because some of these have two little marks, but you've pushed them all the way home, haven't you? Everyone's pushed.
They may just
float about. Yeah, and they have got this sort of little dish shape, so they should maybe give it a little bit of a jiggle as you sort of give it a little bit back to front as well, Ian. Maybe just to help get it all. Let me zoom out a bit here.
You can't really jiggle that much.
No. Right, there you go, and then it's a question of, and you've got to be quite brutal, haven't you? It feels wrong. You proper got to bash it. Now, of course, the bottom of the door flexes a bit as well, doesn't it? And was it the bottom you struggled with on the other side, Ian?
Yeah.
The bottom is the.
See that just.
Oh, he's clipped though. It's just getting the force on it. It's like it flexes too much, isn't it? Do you reckon we could put something on that bottom? Right, do you reckon we could put a bit of wood or something to sort of react that force more? Because you need the sort of dynamic impact on it, don't you?
The trouble is the bottom row of clips are actually up here on this crease.
Yeah.
You look in the end there.
Really? Okay. So they...
You can't really. I mean, that's on there fairly solid.
That's on there fairly solid, isn't it?
Clipped on. Are we happy enough for that?
Don't look too bad. Right, we'll have a quick check on that, and then we'll come and do the next. So we've got him clipped on. We did a little bit of banging, so it's a little bit of an art, but you end up being quite fierce. Right, and then with the little tab at the top, we should be able to pull that just back. So pull that back. And then we should be able to press that on. Now, I don't know, what do you reckon the scheme is on painting? Would you pre-paint the kit and then risk all that pushing and with it painting?
When I was on there.
You'd paint it on there?
Personally, yeah.
Yeah, but that's something to think about and discuss with your body shop. Yeah. We're fitting it, and I'll get our body shop to paint it.
You could fit it up to this point, not take the tape off, and then go and see your body shop.
Shop, yeah.
And then whoever's painting
it, yeah.
Because then you can just undo the poppers and it's going to be fine.
I think they can master that line, and I also think where you've got the little bit of a lead in, you would hide the overpaint where you got that little gap there. Anyway, that's a discussion that you can have with your body shop. Right then, clip that last one on. Then this one was this easier the other side?
The rear one should be easier.
It should be easier. I think it's got less flex in it, and you can react the force better more. Give that a little. But that's the idea anyway. You've got all that bit of rubber there's not helping yet, so make sure that's pushed right back. That might stop it going. So we'll just squidge this along, and it's not a lot to watch really. You just got to try and push it till they clip. So we'll do that and then come and have a look at the finished job. So there we go, we've finished fitting the body kit and the mud flaps to the Freelander 2, so that you can see we did actually change the bottom clips on that rear one. The front one, the original clips clip, but again, if you're unsure, change all the clips to the new ones, because if you fit the clips, they push in real nice if you change them all. But there we go, that's that done. Anything else we need to add to that? I think that's it. Good luck with that.